será cuando empezáis.
Vale. Enjoy.
Quins nervis, tu.
Creo que sería más bien dicho enjoy.
Hey!
Hey!
Hi there!
Hello, how you doing?
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
It's Marc.
Yes,
Marc here.
and that's Marcel, the guy.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I have to turn
Yeah,
down
we
this
have a
shit.
little bit of delay because we are listening to ourselves.
Yeah, we are viewing ourselves.
But from the past,
yes,
right?
Yes, without the DeLorean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How are you, Marc?
I'm doing fine. You?
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Again, yeah, yeah.
Well,
after a long time.
Yeah, but the truth is I've been seeing you now
Yeah,
for quite a long because...
quite many hours.
Yeah,
yes.
we're gonna be here like, 1 hour.
Yeah.
But we are here from, I don't know, 10 o'clock or something in the morning.
Yes, 10 o'clock.
And
You're right.
we've had time to talk about life in general.
Yeah.
And
holidays.
You just have moved out. You
Yes.
are in a new
I
house.
just moved.
But probably, you know what? People are not really interested in
Yeah,
that.
yeah, they don't care. They don't
But
give a fuck.
feel
yeah.
free if you want to talk about
No,
it.
it doesn't matter.
All right. So why we are here?
We're here to talk about our six all-time favorite pedals. Yeah, 3 of Marcel and 3 are mine. Yes, and we wanted to talk about, how we got introduced into pedals.
Yeah.
Every musician, guitar, bass, or keyboard player, they have, their first experience. The first time you saw a pedal and you ask yourself, the heck is that, right? Do you remember that moment?
I do.
Uh-huh.
I do, and I think it was a bit earlier than you. And
Probably.
just because I'm a bit older, but just
Yeah,
just a little
2
bit.
years.
Yeah, and I remember that the first experience was probably, because I'm not 100% sure, was probably a Boss distortion unit.
The DS1.
Probably. I'm not sure if it was the Super Overdrive or like the Overdrive.
Yeah.
And it was in a music shop very near to my house, where I live with my parents. I probably was, I don't know, 13 years old, something like that. And it was fun. It was fun. I remember playing like two chords, the ones that I knew, like look. And it was super fun. But later on, I had a problem with Boss pedals. I'm not gonna criticize Boss pedals because they are great. But I wasn't too keen on later on.
Let me fix this, right?
Ah, yes.
Great.
Yes, thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, because I was in a mess and you noticed it. So yeah, the problem I had with Boss pedals is that if you were looking for an overdriver tone and you were happy with your amplifier, it was like quite a drastic change in tone.
I understand, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, that happened to me also. The first time I saw a pedal, it was a friend of mine in college. I was like 13. Something similar to you.
Yeah.
And it was a DS1, a Boss DS1.
Right.
He was into, punk and all that, heavy music. He was into Metallica, all that kind of stuff. And I saw that orange box and I thought, what the heck is that,
Yeah.
And yeah, it happened. Kind of I had the same feeling, the natural or clean tone. It was open, with dynamics. Exactly. Even I didn't know what those words meant at that time. But when he pressed the pedal, it was like compressed and kind of lifeless. If you compare, with Led Zeppelin and all that. Kind of older music with overdriving tubes, but now I kind of like it, yeah.
Yeah, me too, and it happened the same with the other phasers. chorus, flangers. That at that moment, probably because I was into other kind of music and not with the contemporary type of music back then. I'm talking about probably late 80s, early 90s. And I used to hate those pedals, really, but now I appreciate it a lot because now I can, when I listen, I don't know, the Smiths, the Cure, they are totally into that.
Yeah, they have
sound.
Yeah, they have that kind of processed, sound.
But sounds nice to me now.
Well, it's a tone of an era.
Of course, yes.
So, yeah, we got some comments.
We have some people here.
Hey guys. Hello from Apple Valley. Hello from Barcelona.
Hi there.
Dr. Robert is one of my favorite pedals.
Oh, thank you.
It's one of ours too. I can see here perfectly in rural Ohio. Hi.
It's nice to see that there are people here. So thank you for being here. And by the way, if you like this show, and we should say that this is the...
It's the right time to subscribe to the channel.
Yeah. And click the bell button. So this is Aclam's lap. This is the second one, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, it's the first one.
So,
yes.
And no, the second one?
No, the second. The first one.
And the first one, talking about our vape pedals.
Yeah.
That, by the way, I wanted to say that I'd like to make another one, second part, because it's really hard just to choose
it's quite hard.
3 pedals. And you will see now that we're going to talk about some pedals that we have here. Maybe you can have a look.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you can switch the camera.
Yeah. So you are seeing some of these pedals.
We got the first one, and then you have a pic of one of the others. We'll show them, later. This is Marcel's. This is Marcel's too, and this is Marcel's, and this, and this are mine.
All right, and we can talk a little bit about them. So, I mean, most of them were not really like bestsellers in that moment.
No.
Some of them are quite old.
Yeah.
I think the oldest that we have probably is
that one.
Is the Bell Electro Labs from the mid 70s, mid to late 70s. And if you want, we can start talking about this one, this Aryan pedal. This was one of the first pedals that that I got. And actually it's not this one, because you know that the one, I actually have 2 of these units. And this was a gift from a friend of mine. He bought it in La Lonja del Instrumento in Barcelona.
Yeah, quite famous shop in Barcelona.
Yeah. And it was really fun. To me, this was like the perfect delay, the perfect echo. And at that moment, it was relatively easy to get like the real thing echo units from the 60s and 70s, and not that expensive.
But were you aware that those were the the real thing, the Echoplex and Vinson and all that stuff?
Yeah, I was lucky enough that I found very young some Vinsons, Ecorec, Dynacors, and they were like the real thing to me, and they actually are. Yeah. And when I found this unit, the Aryan, that I should mention that they were made in Japan in the mid-80s probably.
Yeah, mid-late 80s.
This unit though, which is yours, probably was made some years ago. And unfortunately, it's a bit weird, but we're going to be talking about a pedal that we don't like too much, this unit. But I recommend you, if you like this type of pedal, this type of analog pedal, which is really easy
to use.
I mean,
it's 3 knobs.
You have 3 knobs. It's really easy and
it's quite
really
straightforward.
fun.
Yeah.
The thing with the original units back from the 80s is that they have these different chip, right?
Yeah, well, this unit, this reissue one, it's made now in Sri Lanka. Right. It's no longer made in Japan. And well, in fact, I repaired both units that you have.
Really? I didn't remember.
Yeah,
that. Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah,
Good.
yeah, yeah. They have like broken power connector or something like
Probably,
that.
yeah.
Because I've got a shop also here in Barcelona. I repair pedals, and you know, Marcel was a customer.
Yes.
Before being a friend and a
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
pal, you
Is-
know, at Aclam.
It's how we get to know each other.
Yeah, and I had the opportunity to compare this one, the reissue with the original Aryan made in Japan, and you know, they are like completely different pedals. I think you know the suspect here is the delay chip, which is a reissue on this one. You know, and they're made in Asia. It's not the same thing. The original Aryans had an Panasonic MN3205, if I recall correctly, and you know those ones, they have live, and you know the echo really shines. And in this case,
It's a bit dark.
Yeah.
And then what I think is curious pedals of that moment of time in the late 80s, that all the digital era was very trendy. They were still producing these analog pedals, and to me, what I was trying to say, that they were really similar to the original Echo units. It's all right. It's not going to be the same, but they do the job to me.
Yeah.
And maybe we can try a little bit.
Sure.
By the way, there are some questions that maybe we should ask, because there is.
Just some
you can go
questions
ahead.
about the Dr. Robert, and we will answer that later if you want. So
And
keep on the
there
video.
is this one, Gary. Hi, Gary. Is asking about how do you guys only want to make analog pedals, or are you thinking DSP could be useful in the future?
Well, you know, our stuff, you know, is mostly analog. Even they have our pedals. They have a part of digital control for the switching, you know, for the 3x switching. But yeah, we are mostly into analog stuff. But we don't know. Maybe in
You
the
never
future.
know.
Yeah.
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 Maybe we can try a little bit about this and.
Sure. So this is Black Bass.
Yes, guys. You see, the echo in this case is quite dark to me,
Yeah,
and the
quite
ones
dull, yeah.
I have, it's more lively.
Lively. And I think the repeats, they have more repeats.
Yeah, I think the range is a bit
Yeah,
more
wider.
wider. And for example, you can have it's easy like to do some kind of rockabilly slap echo, like by making it really short, and the repeats to zero, to the minimum. And in this case, you have the echo volume here at maximum level. But, or if you want to go more psychedelic, you would go like this. A long delay, which is not really long.
No, I think it's
in
like
this case.
200 milliseconds.
And what about feedback in this case?
Yeah, well, if you turn it to the max,
That is a bit weak, right?
yeah. It doesn't self-oscillate like other analog delays of that era.
You know what? We should bring next time the
original Aryan.
and maybe talk now about another one. We can show another one, which is your turn.
Yeah, well, yeah, let me turn this down. Well, I have to tell you a story.
Right.
When I first got into pedals, it was, well, my first experience was that Boss DS1 which was from a friend. And then I got into playing, I got the bass, I got the guitar, and then I started, looking at the pedalboards of, watching internet videos and YouTube and that stuff. And one of the first pedals that I heard of from other people and the stuff was the Big Muff.
Yes.
And I went to a shop, that was in early 2000s, perhaps 2006, 2007. And I went to that shop that had the Electro Harmonix pedals. There was only one shop in Barcelona, which is no longer open, which is Bosco. And they had the American one and the Russian one, which are now, quite sought after, the Russian stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I tried both, and I got the American. And now I had to choose the Russian one because they are worth more now. And then I got more pedals. I got a whammy. I got, phasers.
Well, you have a nice collection, a nice old collection.
Now I have a nice collection, but back then, what I really wanted was to try stuff, And when I had like 15 or 20 pedals, which is quite a lot, I figured out that I didn't have this one, a tuner, which now it's like crazy, when you got into a show or you went to rehearse or whatever, when you are, or they are playing, you need a tuner.
Of course.
And
a reliable one.
And a reliable one, which is for me the Boss chromatic tuner. In fact, this one was a gift from a friend, which plays in a band called Sidoni, which you played with them.
Yeah.
And
I used to.
And I had another one.
You have the name here.
Yeah,
I don't know if we are seeing now.
Yeah.
Are we seeing the pedal? No.
Better? No? Well, it's there.
All right. But anyways.
Yeah. And for me, it was like I didn't figure out that it was so important. And when some, at my shop, when someone gets in and asks me for advice, which pedal should I get? My recommendation, my advice is get a tuner, man. Get a tuner because that's the pedal that it's gonna make you sound the best. If you're not in tune, it's a nightmare, not just for you, but for everyone, And I've seen a lot of pro guys playing, without a tuner, tuning by ear, which is crazy now. And,
with these tuners.
Yeah, and the headstock tuners, they've got really famous now. But it may sound ridiculous for you, but there's a lot of people that they don't have a tuner, and you have to, they have to borrow your mobile app to tune the guitar. For me, it's crazy. And one thing that I like from the Boss chromatic tuner, which many people hate about the Boss pedal, it's the buffer.
That's interesting.
Yeah, without getting into technical stuff, what a buffer does is give like more energy to the guitar signal, so it can flow better into 2, 3, 6, 10 meters of cable. I don't know the conversion into foot for the American guys, but I don't know, 20 or 30 foot. I think that maybe the jump. And
if you're interested in that, you have like a blog entry about that, or is it a video or something that you can check out in our website? I think I wrote an article about buffers, but there's plenty of them on the internet. I think that Josh from JH Pedals did a video, quite good one, talking about it. And buffers, they have a positive side and a bad side, but if you're not playing with many pedals, you definitely should get a Boss tuner or a pedal with a buffer. They are better buffers than the others. The Boss one, it's not the best, but it does the job, and it really makes a difference for
when you're running into a long cable, the hikes, you know, get tamed, the signal gets dull. You know, there's a difference, and with buffer, you know, it sounds better. So
and this one, it seems that has been through,
yeah, it has seen
a lot.
it has seen a lot of
I
things.
also have mine, and it's. I mean, I've never had a problem with it. And you know, one of the good things in this pedal, and it's that it doesn't produce sound.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
no, I'm serious about it, because other tuners
Yeah.
just a tiny
noise.
a little bit noise, and this is really.
Yeah,
good
obviously if you
and
stack
very
like
strong.
and obviously if you stack like 20 boss pedal, you'll get a lot of, you know, background noise, you know, from getting a lot of buffer stacked, you know, a lot of circuitry. But you know, just one pedal with a buffer is okay. It's okay. So well, it's a bit ridiculous to try this pedal, but we're gonna.
Should we? What
yeah.
do you want
Well,
to do
I
with
think
this?
that what you should do is to tune the guitar. But
right,
yeah,
yes.
but because one thing is that we took the guitar off the case
Yes.
at 10 a.m. and we
Yeah,
haven't
but
tuned it yet.
Funnily enough, it's still working.
Yeah.
It's kind of in tune. Yeah. Not really. It wasn't. How boring is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think it's about right.
There we go. What? What the fuck? We're experiencing
maybe
some problems.
It's not that good pedal after
No.
all.
What the heck? I think this check is wrong. No? Yes.
Now it's
Good. You know, I was going to say that the Boss pedals are really reliable.
yeah.
But you know, I had this is a spare one that I've got in, you know, in my pedal. Well, not in my pedal board, but you know, in a stash. And yeah, probably I retired it because it had a broken jack. But you know, I'm gonna fix it. And believe me, Boss pedals are really reliable. Yeah, even more. You know that. Yeah, you know. All that true bypass fever that started in the 90s, well, late 90s and 2000s with the 3P DT, you know, this switch, you know, the typical true bypass switch, they are not that reliable if you compare it with a Boss pedal. If I like to choose a reliable method of switching. Apart from, you know, the DSP control relay, I will choose a buffer pedal like Boss. Yeah.
Okay, and what else?
So
Should we talk about
yeah,
another
it's
one?
your turn.
Yes, I wanted to talk about, well, in this case, this pedal is made by a guy in Valencia. It's called Matallin.
Miguel, right?
Miguel Matallin, yeah. This is a replica of a really quite old effect that was made by Vox and later on by Jen. And I think that they first designed this effect to go with the guitar. The guitars that they sold by then, that different models, and some of them. And we are talking about the mid-60s, which,
yes.
if you think about it, is like really crazy.
Yeah.
Really good idea and quite ambitious at that time.
Yeah.
And I always found this effect fascinating because it's like a tremolo, but it is really not a tremolo.
It's a chopping tremolo.
It's really aggressive, but to me it's really musical. For some people, talk about it as at that moment, I think, as an echo, because you could make some similar effects.
It simulates like an echo effect. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one is called the repeater, and the original one was called the repeat percussion.
Yes.
Right, and it was made by Vox in the mid '60s, as I was saying. Basically, came with the guitars, and I was.
But they had like a plug-in version, right? With
exactly.
the box,
yes,
you know, with
they
the jack.
also had these small boxes that you could connect. to the guitar. Some other models that you should connect to the amplifier.
To the amplifier.
And I had some of those, and the effect, the sound was great. But to me, it was kind of difficult to play with that because it was not that reliable.
No, it wasn't practical.
No,
you know.
not at all.
We got. Sorry, Marcel. We got some questions.
Yeah, you should ask some questions. Maybe.
Not all buffers are made equal. Yes, they are not made equal. But you know, the best ones, they are not that bad. You know the bad thing about Boss buffers is that with every pedal you get your signal passing through two buffers, not one, because there's one buffer at the beginning and one buffer at the end of the pedal, and that sucks a little bit of tone. And then if you stack more pedals, you don't get just one buffer for each pedal, you get two, which is twice the buffers for pedals. But I mean, they're not that bad. And I've got 12 Boss pedals in a row. It's not bad. Working to build one with 27 on the compact ones. Well, you know, get luck. I wouldn't recommend to put 12 Boss pedals in a row. It really affects the tone, but you know, if it sounds good, it's good.
If it works, it works.
Not boring. I'm obsessed with Boss pedals. We are too. You know, I'm really into Boss pedals, and I think Marcel too. That bass was from the buffer. Yes, probably. You know, live situations.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So let's have a listen to this.
Sure.
This pedal. Well, first without the. Really fast, you have the same kind of effect as I was saying, as a tremolo, kind of a vibrato, but really kind of odd.
Yeah. It kind of turns your guitar into a machine gun or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of aggressive sound. But I always found that it's really cool, and it works really well also if you are going also with fuzz or distortion.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
really cool. In fact, there was this pedal that they produced, like making the replica of some of those effects, or almost all the effects that the box had in this in their guitars, which was the rapid percussion, the fuzz, probably the treble and bass buster, and it's really cool. And we're gonna talk about it
in the next video.
In the next video.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
And I was gonna ask you one thing
about this pedal, about this repeat percussion.
Yeah. No, I forgot.
Well, don't worry, you can...
Yeah, in the next video.
In the next video?
Oh, yeah. Do you remember any famous song with that effect?
Well, I think it was used by a lot. I mean, in a lot of songs, some of these effects, but a famous band in the 80s in the UK, which I don't remember the name right now, but it was before, I don't remember now that you...
in the next video.
But I'm gonna check it out. While you're talking.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
do we have questions? How much emphasis do you put on the quality of cables that you use? Well, that's an interesting question. One thing that a buffer does is, by giving more energy. This is an analogy. It's not exactly what happens with a buffer. But when you're using a buffer, you can compromise a little bit more the quality of cables, because bad cables, they have a lot of capacitance, which is, without getting into technical stuff, which causes the treble content drop, the tone sucking, which is more known for. And with buffer, you are not affected that much with that tone sucking of cables and all the wirings and stuff, or true bypass pedals when they're bypassed. So if you're using good buffers, you can compromise a little bit the quality of the cable, the quality of the actual cable. If you're meaning the quality of the connectors and the solder joints, I would recommend you to get into, to get better cables, because they're going to be more reliable. More questions? There's no more questions, so we're going to talk about the next pedal, which is, let me turn this down. It's my turn, Marcel.
Okay, go ahead.
Which one do you prefer?
Well, you should ask Marina.
Which one do you prefer? So let's get into this. This is a pearl flanger. Yes. Probably most of you guys know the company Pearl of making drums, which is it's a drum maker based in Japan. But they made a lot of stuff, and they had a quite big line of pedals with this kind of enclosure. They had this compressor, they had a distortion, they had a delay, a chorus, and a pedal called Thriller. Yes, Thriller, like the Michael Jackson album. And I've got many of those. I think I had not the entire collection, but 6 or 7, 5 or 6, I don't remember. And one of that I like the most is that one. I think it's very musical, and it has the typical flanger parameters, which is manual, which is the delay time of the affected signal, feedback, which is a feedback of the affected signal back into the circuit, the depth of the LFO, and the speed of the LFO. And well, shall we try it?
Yeah. By the way, I found the band, which is not actually the band I was looking for, but it was the band that came from that one, which is Spaceman 3, and the guitar player was Sonic Boom. So if anyone can help us here, help us up.
I think there is a pedal called Spaceman,
exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah, Acid Fuzz. Actually, it's one of the pedals that we will talk in the next occasion.
So the pedal is inspired by that song?
Not that song,
the band, sorry.
The box effects and probably the band.
Okay. So here we go.
Yeah.
Pearl flanger. For me, the fun thing is this.
Sounds nice.
You can get, the classic flanger sounds, but you can get into more weird terrain, and just for effects, you can use it with drums too. It's a pedal, so you can use it with drums. And
yeah, but it's weird, but I didn't know that Pearl produced
they
pedals.
They had a previous line which were a bit bigger than these ones. Kind of into the Boss C1 and that kind of pedals. And they had delay, and they had a chorus too, I think. But the delay is fantastic. I don't have one, but I had the opportunity to try it, and it sounds
expensive?
Nice. Right now, I don't know, perhaps 400. You can check it with reverb if you want. So yeah, this is one of my favorite too.
So
not my favorite, but you know, I like the pedal with a lot of feedback. It is making a lot of artifacts.
Nice, very nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, your time.
What's next?
It's one of your pedals. I think it's the last one. No. Yeah, the last one. So.
Yeah, we're gonna be
your
talking
last
about
one?
this. This is quite curious because it's a brand from the UK, mid-70s. It's called Bell Electro Labs, and it's quite a weird. There is not much information in the web, although there is a couple of websites talking about it. You can see a brochure. It's kind of funny, and they had this interesting system where you can
make a pedal board with all the pedals, right?
I don't know if you can see it, like from here. You can plug it to another one.
You've got those tabs,
Yeah.
and then you've got this 5-pin connector.
Yeah.
And you can stack the pedal in a row, like kind of an old pedal board fashion.
Yeah, kind of clever.
And the other side,
Yeah,
you've
you
got
can
the
see
female
here.
tabs and in fact, this is a MIDI connector, a DIN 5 connector, which is fun.
Yes. So they had this
There you go.
their own system, which is kind of interesting. Unfortunately, it didn't work very well. It didn't sell too much, but I think the sound is remarkable. And I really like the graphics. I think this, if I'm not wrong, this is kind of a letra set, right, Marina? And it's really take you to that moment of time, the mid-70s.
Do you remember when and where you got it?
Yeah. You know that there is the Zencans, the second-hand market in Barcelona.
Which is quite unique in Europe.
Exactly, yes. And it was most unique that I bought it not inside the market, but outside the market. So
there were people selling stuff outside.
Exactly, there were people selling stuff, and I got it really cheap. I think something around previously to the euro. So it was probably 350 pesetas.
Which is now €2.20.
So, and you know, the good thing is that it worked.
Wow. Oh.
And I have been using it a lot. I mean, it has been in my pedal boards ever since. The same with the Aryan, the original one. So maybe we can have a listen.
Right. There we go. Volume.
In the middle, I like it like the intensity also to 9. You have this wide range. And the speed now in the middle, but if you go to the top also, you have a similar effect to a Leslie, type of sound. There is a trimmer inside where you
can tweak it.
Yeah, a bit. Isn't it cool?
Yeah. You know, one thing I noticed, because I tried that before when we were setting up all the stuff for the video, is that I noticed that, you know, in this position, there's a lot of speed, you know, but from the 0.8 to the 9, which is interesting, it goes from 0 to 9, not from 1 to 10 or 0 to 10. And I noticed that there's a speed right here. Oh no, sorry. Here's kind of a, you know,
Oscillates a
regular,
little bit,
you know, mid speed, and then it goes all the way in this position. You notice that?
I think this is one of the things that you can adjust with
With the trimmer.
inside trimmer. Yes.
Well,
Well,
it's an amazing pedal. It sounds awesome.
yeah,
awesome,
I
awesome.
love it. Also because of the story where I got it, and I think it was probably in '98.
98.
So, yeah, I'm really old now that I'm thinking.
Yeah. I was playing with Pokemon at that era.
Yeah, probably, probably. Well,
So,
okay.
well, we got some questions here.
All right.
Hi guys, what amp are you playing? Is that a divided by 13 FTR? I don't know the model, but probably FTR 37. Yes, it's from a good friend of us, David Sule. It's an amazing guitar player. You should check him out.
And in fact, he's
yeah,
here.
he's here recording some stuff.
Yeah.
And this is a Universal Audio OX. And we've plugged the head directly to the OX, so there's no cabinet, and it's a really interesting piece of gear.
Yes, it works really well, especially in a thing like this. We don't have like a lot of volume here where we are right now.
So,
and I don't know how it sounds for you all.
There's another question: is a modulation, delay, and reverb something that will come to the clamp pedal format? Do you mean modulation, delay, and reverb all together, but or separate? Well, we were joking, you know, before starting the video about showing you our new pedal, which there is no information of it whatsoever in the internet, and perhaps we'll show it later after, you know, showing all the pedals, which there's...
But you mean is a modulation or a delay or...
We're going to show it,
what is it,
and you'll
Tell
have to guess. Yeah. So yeah, next pedal. It's now my turn. You know, guys, don't use Velcro. It's annoying. We don't like it. Get on a smart track. So yeah, here we go.
What else?
Another Velcro.
What else?
This one, my favorite pedal of all time, of all the pedals that I have, the Fuzz Factory.
And why is that?
Why is that? There's a story. After buying, you know, all that regular, you know, stuff, Big Muff, Whammy, I don't know, a chorus, an octaver, and I discovered a band called Muse, and they had, you know, this weird sounds with the guitar and the bass, and there was a song, "Plucking Baby," which the intro uses this pedal, and well, now the guy has the Fuzz Factory installed inside the guitar, and blah blah blah, and you know, it caught my attention. And there was again one shop in Barcelona, just one shop that had the Zvex stuff, and then I got there, I tried it.
Which one was that?
Tube Sound,
Right.
Tube Sound in Gracia. You should check them out. And they had, you know, this one, Baxter Fuzz Factory. Zvex has two lines of effects. These ones are made in Taiwan, which are silk screened, and they have hand-painted versions made in the US. They are basically the same internally, but, you know, the Taiwan made ones are cheaper. And I didn't have a lot of money, so I bought this one. And this was my first Fuzz Factory, and I got caught. You know, it has a lot of you know, creativity to it. You can get a lot of sounds. It works, you know, flawless with guitar and bass. You know, it's my favorite pedal, basically.
Okay,
and you know, at the first time, it's kind you don't understand how the controls work because it has gate
It's kind of complicated if you compare it to a regular fuzz.
Yeah, if you compare it into a fuzz phase, which is a fuzz knob which you turn all the way up all the time. I don't understand why there's a fuzz control in a fuzz phase, and the volume. And this one had 5 knobs, which is crazy, and you don't understand exactly what they do at first glance, but you can get a lot of different interesting sounds with it. And the thing is that I got caught with this pedal, and they started buying many different versions. I've got this one too, which is the probe version, which has this is an antenna. This is a theremin antenna, and you can control it with your foot or with your hand. And this antenna is wired into this control here, the step control. And in fact, one interesting thing about this particular pedal, which is handmade in the US, this is a hand-painted version, is that they got it wrong, and they wrote drive in the drive control, but also in the step control. I think it's one of a kind. I've never seen another one like this, and I think it's an error. They got it wrong when they made the pedal, and it's quite fun. And also, there's this version right here, which is quite an interesting collaboration between Chase Bliss Audio and Zvex. And for me, it's like the ultimate Fuzz Factory because it has all the versatility, but now with presets, and you can store dozens or 100, I think 128 presets into it, and every sound that you get into by an opportunity or just experimenting, you can store it. It's amazing. So
and the story of Zvex is also really interesting because, tell me if I'm wrong, but probably was like the first guy who started all this trend, the boutique thing, and with a particular philosophy of doing these crazy sounding pedals. But the interesting thing to me is that they work, as you were saying, like bands, and that they are using and creating new songs, new records. So it not only started this new trend about boutique pedals, but a new kind of possibilities to
he kind of broke some frontiers.
Exactly.
He took the idea from electro harmonics. You take and you try an electro harmonics pedal, and all the knobs go like to the extreme. You take a modulation pedal, and the depth goes like to 24 if you compare it with a Boss pedal, which they are more controlled if you think. And the same philosophy was took, well, in my opinion, by Zvex, and he kind of blew it. This pedal is crazy. It's for me, it's amazing.
So I see that you're really into Zvex.
Yeah.
You know what? I had the opportunity to meet the actually Zvex.
The guy?
The guy himself at the NAMM show, and I had the opportunity to say hello to him. And you know what he said to me?
Are you making me jealous right now?
No, not really. Okay. No, but I just wanted to say that he said to me, hello. Yeah.
And that's all?
That's all, yeah.
Well, you were lucky.
Yeah. So
do we have some questions?
Yeah, well, we should play a little bit, no?
Yeah.
What do you think? And maybe you can turn on the knobs.
There. No? Oh, shit.
Yeah, you should feed the animal.
Okay. So, well, you should start the pedal with this knob setup. And then you can go crazy. Well, we only get really deep into what each control does, but you can get this kind of Velcro fuzz. so you get the oscillations.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, for
Yeah.
me, like every note position works, and it has, you know, interesting possibilities, and so that's
This-
all.
And this is the last one?
Yeah, this is the last one, and I think we got some questions. Love the Fuzz Factory. Rather, Zvex is from Minnesota. Yeah, they're from
Hey,
Minnesota.
Minnesota. And Seattle. Wow.
It would be great to have the Aclam Fuzz pedal.
Yeah.
Well,
Why not?
perhaps.
Why not?
Perhaps
Why not?
your prayers are heard someday.
Well, we talked about it several times, and yeah, we have some ideas. So why not? Would be cool.
I would still like to hear any comments about the clones appearing. Which clones? The attack of the clones? Aclam's plan for a first pedal. Well, we're gonna give you a bit of a clue of our new pedal. We are gonna show you the new pedal, which we have a prototype right there.
It's over there. Yeah,
and
very near.
yeah, for you guys
But
who
this
are
is
watching
kind
the
of
show,
dangerous.
Yeah.
This is kind of dangerous. Be careful.
can you
Because
hand me the pedal?
we can actually get fired for this.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. It's worth it, really.
All right,
Pay attention now.
I've got it in my hands. I'm gonna show you.
All right.
That's all.
That's all.
This is our new pedal.
Okay.
And now
okay.
you're hearing the switches, which
Sounds good
which
to
by the
me.
way you're not gonna hear in the final version, which are gonna be clickless switches. But this is a prototype. I'm gonna show you it again.
And
That's all.
Yes. Any idea?
Marta?
Any idea when we are gonna release that pedal? That
Yeah.
super fast pedal?
Well, it's
Yeah.
not a fuzz.
No, fast.
Ah,
fast
ah,
because
yeah,
it
or-
seems that it's really a fast sounding
Well,
pedal.
you know, we talked about that in the Dr. Robert episode.
Yeah.
We talked about making a version of the internal fuzz found on the Vox UL 730, and you know, it wasn't worth that much for us.
Well, you know that I have like a different
Yeah,
opinion,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we're gonna
Yeah,
have a
we've
discussion.
got a
right
discussion here.
And by the way, we should say that if you like this kind of videos we are doing, you can make a proposal like talk about this or the other thing, and don't forget to subscribe and
Yes.
click the bell button.
And yeah, what I wanted to mention too is that you have, you know, we're so thankful about, you know, your comments and petitions of, you know, new ideas for new pedals, because, you know, sometimes when you're designing or you're into the process of, you know, conceptualizing a new pedal, you can get lost, and sometimes, you know, it's good to get some inputs from external people. So if you guys want a fuzz pedal, we're gonna take this more seriously, and yeah, perhaps
Yeah, it seems
our,
that
our
could
next
be
pedal.
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, we love fuzzes.
Yeah, we are into fuzzes.
Yeah, a
in
lot,
fact, we're
a
gonna
lot.
make an episode about fuzzes.
Yeah, we should. Which is really interesting subject, the history, the sound, all the music produced with fuzz as well, but you all know about it, right? So
we've got some comments. By the way, amazing work in the Dr. Robert. Thank you very much, Ignacio. The Path. Is your Impro delivery sorted with the UK? Yes, sure. You should check it. And what about the Vox Conqueror pedal?
Yeah, we are lucky enough to have one Vox Conqueror
Yeah.
here, and it's really, really good fun and very interesting Do you have one? It's really an interesting amplifier, and you
Yeah.
know that probably was the following one to the UL
Yeah,
series.
yeah. I think well, they
And-
released at the same time the Conqueror,
Yeah, exactly.
Defiant, and
Yeah.
another one. I don't know the name.
I'm not sure. Defiant, Conqueror. Well, some of
Yeah.
these, and this was like totally solid state.
Yes.
At that moment was like super trendy, like the most sought after amplifier. That's why we talk about it
Yeah.
earlier. That the people were no longer interested in the previous series, which
the
now
UL series,
are really sought after.
Yeah.
And yeah, but we will keep that in mind, right?
I think there's one company called Jex Tiles.
Yeah, of
Tiles.
course, yeah.
Yeah, they make kind of a similar pedal. Well, it's not a Dr. Robert, but it's inspired by the Beatles, which is called the White Pedal.
Yeah,
And
sounds awesome.
I
Yeah,
don't know. Do they have the MRB, the mid-range boost?
Exactly, it's
Yeah?
in that Conqueror.
But
amplifier, yeah.
I mean the pedal. Does it have it too?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
You mean the
The
with
white pedal.
the telex?
Yes, yeah.
No,
the
I don't
Jex
think
Tiles.
so.
Uh-huh.
No.
So
But
yeah, well,
yeah,
you
that's a
should
good
check that
idea.
pedal too.
Yeah. So we are about to finish. If you have any questions, any more questions, any more ideas, comments, whatever.
Well, we got two more comments.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Did I mention my 12 bus pedal board is on a Aclam S2? You've done right. Thank you. 3 knobs on the new pedal. Hope isn't another clone. Twist it to the. No, it's not another clone. You know, we are not into the cloning pedals stuff, which would be easier for us to release new pedals. But you know, you especially know this, Marcel. When we are thinking about making a new pedal, it's kind of a nightmare. We spend a lot of time.
It's a nightmare, but it's super fun. I
Yeah.
mean, there is this
but
because it could be stressful. Of
Yeah,
course.
it's stressful. That's the word.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of cool things out there, but you know, getting the right one and also getting the right tone for you guys, it's quite hard. This is why we are not releasing like 5 pedals in a year, because it takes time. And also, it's in a small company. We have to build pedals. We build the pedals by ourselves, so that takes time too.
That's right. And the previous live at the end, because we realized that it was time to finish the live show, and we said, "All right, bye. We're leaving." So this time we're going to take a minute to say, "All right, we are now finishing."
Yes.
And soon this is going to be over. So I'm going to be taking my time here. Marta is asking me to play a little bit guitar. Why? Why do you want me to play
with
guitar?
the Fuzz Factory? Well, if you want to hear this divided by 13, which it seems you liked, with the volume all the way up.
Yeah, that's interesting. This is one of the cool things that you can do with the
OX.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. See you. Bye.